I don't know how long this fucking show is going to go. I'll tell you right now, because this is why. I'm in the middle of a Jurassic Park reaction, guys, and this is what happens. I know that this part of it, and do not tell me, oh, screw it on. No fucking shit. I've been trying to screw it on, and
yes, I made that mistake, y'all.
So I don't think we're gonna have a show today. I don't think so. I mean, I could move this over, but like I've been trying to get this for 15 minutes.
Wow.
Screw it on. Fuck off. So stupid.
This is why you gotta have a backup stand. You gotta have a backup
one right here. I could move it over and do that, but it's like I have so much shit I have to do.
Yeah.
That because that one works fine.
Mic down.
Do this. No, but I have to move it over. I just have to do this over here, I guess. But like same thing. I got to move this over. And I
it probably doesn't stretch out that low. Yeah, that far.
No, it does. I have to move it over though.
Yeah. So you guys are cruel. Some of these comments are hilarious.
Yeah, it's like so. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna I don't know. Here, we'll do. Derek, again, you guys don't put any more comments in because I can't. I don't know.
Okay.
Here, John, real quick, tell them your thoughts on Tudum, or the stupidest name of all time.
Tudum. Yeah, the Netflix thing. While Kristian figures out his technical issues there and adjusts the studio to fit what's going on. Yeah, we had it over the weekend. I thought it was okay. There were some teleprompter glitches. There were some presentations that maybe didn't 100% get there. And to be honest with you, it was a good weekend for me, getting some nice reaction views for the stuff I did. But the Stranger Things, we only got like 30, maybe 15, 20 seconds of new footage right at the end of that trailer. And Squid Game season 3, that was a good trailer. It gave us a little bit more of what we're going to get, but it wasn't that exciting of a trailer. The Frankenstein trailer, I think, is the winner of the weekend. I don't think a lot of people were clamoring for another version of Frankenstein, but Guillermo del Toro, and he doesn't always knock it out of the park. I think those who are being honest about Guillermo del Toro as a director, he doesn't always knock it out of the park. Crimson Peak, other things that he's done hasn't quite gotten there, but you can sense and you can tell when he's on point. And that trailer felt like he's 100% on point. Him and Oscar Isaac, even though Oscar is doing one of those affected older accents, I think it really works. And I love the Happy Gilmore 2 trailer. You can speak on the One Piece. I've never seen One Piece, so they dropped that trailer for that second season as well.
That show's just so huge. You can tell like how big the overall fan base is for that.
Yeah.
But you know what I would like to address with Tudum, even though I understand why it does the sound that it makes.
Yeah,
I just hate the name so much. But it was what I do like about what they did with that. I think Comic-Con's Star Wars Celebration, all of that should take note. Meaning, we're past the day of, well, I bought my ticket to Comic-Con and D23 for exclusive to get into the thing, and they're not tell it to anybody else, and you're not going to show it to anyone else. We're past that. It's not because there's too many things that get leaked and other things. Hall H and Disney and whoever's in there should televise their Hall H panels. They should televise and they should do big events. And if you're going to spend the money to go to Comic-Con and these other things, put the money in. Not everybody has Netflix money. I get it, but put the money into it and put on a show. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I thought was kind of, as the kids say, cringeworthy of some of the jokes and other things too. But they put on a show. They had musical acts. They did things, and the presentation was smart, and they benefited by streaming it on their platform. So when Disney's at Hall H, put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Back in the old days, remember Star Wars Celebration did that a few years ago. They streamed it. None of the footage got streamed, but the panels got streamed. I remember watching years ago with the crew over there in the valley that had that. I can't remember the name of the site, but like they invited a bunch of us to go and watch it and did a live watch along of the panels. That was a blast. And so, the panel should absolutely be up there for people to watch in real time. Yeah, maybe you don't release the footage or the trailer because that's exclusive for the people that are there, and you'll release it after the panel is done. But still, it would be fun for people to enjoy that, because I think you're right. The interactive world is the way to go. As we see more and more people not wanting to go out into the theater to see movies, not wanting to go into public places, a lot of people are just doing stuff from home, and so they'd rather enjoy that. Why should they be left out? It's this kind of exclusivity nonsense that's from decades past, and
it's decades past. Right. They think, and if the audience bought a ticket for it, that's what they're there for. They're not, though. It's the same way that, like, when you go to a concert or anything else too, you're going to see it. You want to see it live.
Yeah, of course.
And there are some people who are going like, well, wait a minute, why am I buying a ticket if it's available to anyone else? Tough shit. It's like
you're not going to get the same experience as you are.
Not at all.
That's what you're paying for. Yeah,
you're going there to see again, but to take it a page out of what Netflix did. Have a musical act, like, Lady Gaga's up there.
Gaga was great.
Yeah, go star-studded and put it on, and it's a show. You got to see someone perform. You got to see exclusive footage. You got different things. And this is what I always said about Comic-Con. Put on a show. I don't want to just see some host who's going, what was so extraordinary about this one? And what was it like to work with this person? And it's like, no one cares. Yeah. It's like you want to see the cast come out. You want to see, like, even what they did do in like the Rich Eisen thing, which coming out with it was great because it's a Happy Gilmore. It's relevant to the movie itself. Yep. You're putting a sports presentation to it, and it's relevant to what's going on within the thing. That is what they did good. Like I said, there's a couple things I'm going, okay, just fast forward. I get it. I don't care. But the people there got the experience. Netflix got the benefit because people are watching their stream and checking out everything else, and you're adding to it. So if you're spending the money, if you're these studios, televise it and put it on your streaming service. You're trying to find all this content to put out together, and yet you're going, it's exclusive stuff, and nobody film anything. Who cares?
Right.
At this point.
And they still film stuff, and they still put it out, and they still leak everything, for sure. And you're right, Chris. I mean, he on the heels of the 37 chairs for the Marvel presentation, you put the Tudum thing in the same basket, and you're like, look, there is a massive audience for people who will actually sit down for hours and watch a broadcast of your stuff to promote your stuff. So why not open the door to making that more accessible to people? It doesn't make sense anymore to live in that old business model.
No, it doesn't work. But as far as the others, the quality itself, I like the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie. I'm interested in. It's so funny when I saw that trailer, though. I'm like, we live in such a different time, right? Because you're watching that that trailer, and it's like the way movies are made now, where Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are making movies for Netflix. They're making movies for streaming. That's 10, 15 years ago. That's a movie theater movie. You know,
100%.
Yeah, and now it's like pick and choose, but it's like, hey, Netflix is going to give us the money. That's something people are going to watch on Netflix and talk about and discuss. And it made a lot of sense. I think it's interesting. And you got a better shot of it doing people caring about it and the kind of numbers it can get. You put it on Netflix. Did you like that trailer? Or just thought it was just fine?
I thouit was fine trailer. The Cookie Monster thing was a little weird, but everything else I thought was good with them. And to connect what you just said to the Guillermo del Toro thing as well. Someone on one of my reaction videos to that trailer said, "Hey, I hate that he's not going to let this be in the theaters, or they're not going to put this in the theaters." Like, you can't have one without the other, right? You got to be honest, right? Yeah, you got to be honest. Ben Affleck can't sell movies. Matt Damon can't sell movies like they did in the past. That's why you saw Brad Pitt, Clooney, like they all can't sell them like they did in the past, right? So where can you go with filmmakers where you're going to have the budgets that you had in the past to create the visions that you want to be a part of? Netflix, Apple, these are the streaming places that you see this happening. So this idea that, I'm not going to get a chance to see this in theater, or why are they working with these streaming services? This is why. Del Toro had a vision for his Frankenstein. He was never going to get the budget from any other studio that he got to make it on Netflix. Right. So this is the exchange. You want to see
good luck with them. Look what he did with Pinocchio.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got good luck with them. So it makes a lot of sense that he would do it. But now a lot of these creators, some of them are trying to push back against the Netflix model. A lot of them know the Netflix model, and they know okay, look, I'm not going to get a theatrical thing. I'm going to go and they're going to give me this money to do it. This is where it's going to live. some people go into that deal, and some people have the deal go, well, I was under the understanding that it was going to get a brief theatrical, and if that's in the negotiations, then that's on Netflix, right? They got to figure that out. Yeah, like the Greta Gerwig thing, like, and then they came up with the IMAX deal, which I think was a fair deal. But you look at what Netflix does, and I think last night that Tudum thing really showed the shift in what is going on with entertainment and movies and all that stuff, and the way, like, the kind of money that they have to put on that stuff. And that's why I brought up the thing with Comic-Con. It's embarrassing when you take like what Star Wars Celebration does, Disney, in the way the same mundane freaking, panels and things, and Comic-Con, every studio, not just Disney, that does the same mundane stuff. And then you look at what they did, because like, we have the money to do this. We're going to put on a show. We're going to really make it feel like everything that we are doing is important. Right. Like even their dating shows, they gave it like, because how popular it is. And so One Piece was exciting. Stranger Things, I mean, because we even said were people interested in Stranger Things too? Was it too late? I don't think it's too late. I think it's going to get people excited. I like that they're doing 3 chunks. Boom, boom, boom. I like that so much better, because then you at least have time to catch up on however many it is.
Yeah. I don't understand people getting upset about that. Look, a lot of people on social media are upset about the three thing drops. Like, listen, they're not your dad and mom who have to give you what you want when you ask for it. Like they're going to drop it, and they're going to let it breathe a little bit, as you just said, Kristian, so people can enjoy it and talk about it and analyze it and get excited. That's the number one thing. And get excited for the next drop of episodes. And one is just one's Christmas and the other one is New Year's. So you're not even waiting like 2 weeks, you're waiting less than a week to get it. So it's just this instant gratification crap that drives me nuts from some people. Like, they're going to drop it this way because they want to build up anticipation. It's the last season. So let them have the finale the way they want.
It's smart. And they're not doing it within like 6-month period.
Yeah, right. Exactly. This isn't Last of Us.
No, it's like the first one. It's like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then New Year's. It's like boom, boom, boom. And it's so funny to show you how old my wife and I are getting. We're sitting there with my 13-year-old watching, because and Wednesday was the other thing, right? So we're watching
Wednesday, 6 minutes. Yeah,
we're watching the Wednesday part of it, and I go, Tudum. It's such a stupid name. Why don't you name it that? My wife's like, I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. My wife goes, my daughter looks at me. She goes, it's the name. It's the noise that it makes when you turn it on. And we're like, oh yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, so
Circle of Life.
Yeah, Circle of Life. But in general, I thought it was a really good really good event, because, like I said, and I think the girl, and this is again showing you how old I'm getting. Do you know where I recognize the host from? Not her new show.
No.
From Descendants, from watching it with my kids.
Oh yeah, right. Exactly.
She was one of the main women in Descendants. And I thought she did a good job hosting.
I think she did a good job. I mean, you mentioned Hall H. Almost all those Hall H people are handed talking points and handed questions. Yeah. They don't usually come up with them. But to navigate an entire thing like this, I think speaks volumes to her abilities. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe down the road she's hosting a Golden Globes or an Oscar.
She shouldn't host Golden Globes. She's a singer and an actress, too. She doesn't need to host those things.
She was down the road. You never know.
Maybe. I think she was doing it more so to promote the thing that she's got, Sure. But like, you look at like they went all, even the Knives Out. They did the Knives Out thing. They
that was cool.
Out for that, and they spared no expense, and they did what they needed to do, and it made a lot of sense. I think it was a success. I think that it did well. It also shows why I need a home studio, because I'm not driving my studio to go like react and watch these things. I'm just not doing it. So it was it was really, I think, again, a big win for them overall.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna see, and Happy Gilmore too. I really liked the trailer for the first one.
Yeah.
The second one's making me a little nervous.
Really?
Just a little. It could either be great, or it could be, it's like, I love seeing MJF there. Where did he come from?
I know, right? That was hilarious.
Hilarious.
On top of the car.
Hilarious. And they're almost doing like that. What was that? Was it Step Brothers? Not Step Brothers.
Four Christmases?
No. Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
But it's he's lost it all, and now he's had to come back, and we'll see. My fingers are crossed. I'm excited to see.
I'm not excited about his I'm not excited about it. I mean, his daughters didn't look like they were up to snuff there. So I get it. You want to cast.
Oh, you want to put his daughters and his wife's in it too. That's what he. That's
Yeah.
what he does now. He puts everybody in it. But
a lot of people speculate that Julie's dead. Do you buy that?
It's possible.
Character has died, and that's why he's been depressed.
And she's talking from the happy place.
Yeah, she's talking from the happy place.
It's possible because she's there promoting it,
right?
And it might be a big enough role, but yeah, where is she in the live action scenes? So
nowhere there along the sidelines with everyone else. Right.
No. And if it was divorced or anything along those lines, they probably would have incorporated that in the actual thing. So
yeah.
God, anyway.
I love that story. Yeah.
What did everyone think about all this and more? What'd you think about that mic stand that I want to physically fight? Look at this piece of shit. Look at this thing. Look at it, just staring at me. Shithound. Anyway, we're gonna get into some more stuff. There's a big box office things that we're gonna discuss. And before we do it, I've told you about Turtle Beach. You guys keep getting Turtle Beach. I'm so excited for that. I want them to be around forever. I really hope you're listening to us when we're talking about it. But I can't tell you about Turtle Beach yet because I have other things I'm going to talk about first. I'll bring up Turtle Beach after that. Why? You want the honest John, or should I make something up?
No, always be honest.
Okay. Because I forgot to load the ad into the thing. So not as exciting. Yeah, I'll put it back in there. But what we'll do, that's what she said. So what we need to do is bring up this Daredevil thing because it says Daredevil Born Again, the ratings are a concern. That's the new story. That's it. It says Daredevil Born Again, ratings are a concern. Questions are being raised about the potential future of a Daredevil Born Again following the series hitting an unfortunate milestone. Back in March 2025, Disney Plus reported that the 2-episode premiere of Daredevil Born Again reached 7.5 million views in its first 5 days of availability on the streaming service. That is the biggest premiere of the year to date for Disney, but it was small compared to some other high-profile Marvel launches on the service in recent times, like Agatha All Along with 9.3 in its first 7 days, and Loki Season 2 with 10.9. Comicbook.com reports that the series is the first live-action Marvel show that has failed to make Nielsen's top 10 of original streaming services during its run. Nielsen's top 10 streaming charts are always several weeks behind the airing of shows. The current chart, for example, runs from April 28th to May 4th, where the second season of Andor is in third place of the original and sixth on the overall charts, though its multi-episode weekly release schedule is likely to have helped it out a bit there. Born Again wrapped its run on April 15th, and the series reportedly failed to show up in the top 10 originals or overall numbers, not just during the show's weekly run, but in the 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, indicating limited weekly viewership and not a lot of people waiting to marathon it. The show's second season is currently in production ahead of March 2026 release and is expected to fare better thanks to the inclusion of at least one, if not more, returning heroes from the Defenders. These numbers, however, have drawn obvious concern from fans over the chances of a third season. Comments from Andor creator Tony Gilroy at the ATX TV Festival on Thursday have only fueled that speculation. He revealed that Disney told him that streaming is dead. We don't have the money we had before, with the second season of Andor likely one of the last costly per episode productions the streamer will put out. I loved the honesty from Tony Gilroy inside of that when he said that, and I believe him 1,000% that they said that to him, unless they were just bullshitting him and like, we can't do another season, we don't have any more money. People go, how did they not have any more money? Because the model was not sustainable for what they were doing. That is the answer. It doesn't matter who you are. When you're dumping out $230 million for Acolyte, you're not putting enough results on your other shows that were doing well. What in the hell are you doing over there? So of course you don't have any money to do that. Doesn't make it, and if you're Bob Iger and you're looking, here's a series we're going to do with Moana. What are you doing? Turn it into a movie. Oh, you think so? Yeah. Why? Because it just made $1 billion, dummy. And they're going to do the same thing. But they're talking about that with Punisher now. The Punisher series that they were going to do, they're going to turn that into an hour and 45-minute movie now. That's exactly what they should do. That's what they should do. And if it costs you that, that's how you can make some money back. I think. Like, I was all for the idea of doing series, and I'll be the first to admit it, that when they were saying Star Wars are going to do shows, I'm like, great, stick to shows. If you're actually going to dive into characters and put the money into it and put and do stuff. I thought everything was going to be not serious like Andor, but structured like Andor and written like Andor, and you put that kind of effort into it. I was like, great, let's do that. They didn't do that, and they overspent stuff, and they overdid that, and they did 1,000 different shows. They should have done one show a year. They did 3 Marvel shows, they did 2 Star Wars shows, and they just people want it. Let's just spend money on everything, and so they don't put any effort into it because they think the audience are idiots, and the audience says, no, we're not idiots. You guys are idiots for spending that kind of money. And now they have no money. Yeah. So this doesn't surprise me at all. What's the layout now going to be like, John?
I mean, I think when you look at the idea of streaming, we just finished glowingly talking about Netflix. So I think to add a couple of words to Tony Gilroy's sentence there about it, Disney said streaming is dead for us. That's what the sentence should have been, because they have failed at streaming. They failed at it. Now looking at it, because a constant stream of underperforming shows, under-delivering shows eventually will harm your future shows, because people don't believe you're picking the right creators, the right showrunners. You're meddling too much in it. People want to blame the acolyte. I still stand firm that I think Filoni went in there, some of the executives went in there, messed with Leslie Headland's vision, got scared that she was doing a darker approach to Star Wars that, God forbid, had some sympathy on the Sith, and she was told to turn it all around to make it a young adult, easily connectable show, and that's why it failed. So there's so many reasons for why and don't listen to the social media people who love everything Disney does, or I stand for this, I'll fight for this. It's nonsense. The reality of the statistics, the reality of the numbers, the reality of the financial numbers, that's what you got to look at for success. And clearly their ratings aren't great, the financial returns are not great, and I'm not surprised that Disney is telling creators that streaming is dead for them, because Netflix has been successful at it. Look, Apple is making some great shows, and they aren't coming anywhere close to the numbers that Disney or Netflix is getting for their stuff, but they're still making quality shows. So people know they can go to Apple TV and watch, more often than not, a really good, well-made show. That's the difference. You're suffering in quality.
And Apple just poops money.
Yeah, and wins awards. Right. When's the last time you saw Disney streaming consistent?
Right. No, but I mean they poop money like as outside of streaming stuff. It's like a billionaire's hobby that costs them nothing.
Exactly. They make so much money they can spend.
Right. And it's people, what Disney does too. Yeah, but Disney's focus is on movies and TV. Yeah, they have theme parks and they make a lot of money in theme parks, but it's different as far as how that goes. And they have other things that they do, but primarily movies and TV. Apple, it's about tech and other things that they have where they're making money, and they go, oh yeah, we have that little side project where we spend money on we have a streaming service. Oh, you do? Yeah, we want to like hire every like big wig celebrity to do something. It's going to cost us some money. Yeah, we'll probably lose a lot of money. Yeah, but can we do it? Yeah. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Give George Clooney $25 million to make Wolves. Why?
Why not?
It doesn't hurt them. Right. Like it doesn't hurt them. Like they could lose money every year and then buy Disney while they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like there was talk about them buying Disney. Like that's how much money they have. And it's not a priority to them. Like as where it is, like Disney's like, oh, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do.
It would be a priority for Disney if they were good at it. And the fact that they're not good at it, which is very clear, is the reason why they don't make it a priority. And they don't want to fix it now. They just want to focus on theatricals. Because as you said, Iger came in, turned Moana 2 into a whole movie by cobbling those episodes together, made $1 billion. So it's like it makes all the sense in the world to do it that way. Moana, which one? The one now just is about to come out. The Lilo and Stitch live action, $600 million in like 15 days. That's insane.
So so their movies are doing right exactly. So they're like they had that idea of what they were going to do, and then when what's his face Bob Chapek came in and said, let's just make a bunch of streaming things and just greenlit everything. They're still paying for that. Yeah, they're still paying for that. So like they're now turning some of these things into movies, and like I said, you do that with Moana. They're doing it with Mandalorian and Grogu also. Mandalorian and Grogu is essentially Mandalorian season 4.
It's supposed to be season 4. Yeah, you're right.
That's it. They just said, okay, look, hey, John, you have the whole script done. Can you just write a version of that as a movie and do the movie instead? I mean, the $140 million we were going to give you for the season, can you just do that for a movie?
Yeah,
I think I can make that happen. Great, then do that, and that way we can make some money off it. Because that's what people don't understand. They are going to make because there's still a big debate on it. I saw we posted a clip on it on the Clips channel.
Okay.
and it was a lot of people say it's going to bomb, it's going to do terribly, it very well could be disappointing. Do I think it'll bomb? No. Do I think financially it could be disappointing? It's possible, because I don't know how much people trust Star Wars anymore.
Yeah.
There's also a very good possibility that we haven't seen Star Wars in the theater since 2019, and people might still want to see a Star Wars movie in May. And the audiences that are the casual audience know Baby Yoda, and want to take their kids and go and see it. And there's an opportunity for them to actually make some cash. So they could, even if it makes, because it's going to be one of the lower budgeted movies,
right?
They still have an opportunity, even if it does $600 million, to do well in this thing, which is a good business model. They won't stick with that with the movies. They're going to go 200 and up,
of course.
But I don't know. What do you agree, disagree with any of that?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% on that. What your analysis on that is, because like that's the thing with them when they're looking at it, they know where they're going to make their money, and they know theatrically that's now been proven over the last few years. And I do want to push back on one thing. I think Iger is the one who started the idea of going into streaming.
Of course,
Chapek is the one who ran with it. But
that's what I'm saying.
So they're both of them carry some blame. Some people like to
not necessarily
Iger in the blame category.
But wait. Before you say that though, wait. Okay. You can have an idea and say, if I say to you, hey, John, I have an idea to do this, and this. Here's my idea, right? And I think that we should go into streaming and do this. And here's how we're going to map this out. Marvel should do this. Marvel. Yeah, those are my ideas. Here you go. Run with it, right? Yeah. So you're going, Iger came up with that plan, right? So he gives it to Chapek, and Chapek throws all this stuff and does all this stuff, and it fails. Yeah. Now you could reverse it and say, well, wait a minute. What if Chapek wasn't there and Iger was there? And he said, yeah, but you shouldn't have done it that way.
Maybe.
The way you could have done it was this way, and not put all that money in there, not done that, and we could have been successful with it. I mean, it's a what if scenario, but you can't blame somebody for greenlighting the idea.
But I also think if he believed in it when he came back into power, he would have put it back in motion.
But it was a disaster by then, dude. It was a disaster.
Yeah, I know. But...
It was a disaster. They had so much failure by the time he got back, and all the things that were, and the brand got diluted. And we can't just blame it on Chapek and Iger. Feige, as much as he was
100%.
Yeah, as much as Feige was, he was too busy. Sure, but they made some really bad decisions of what they were putting forward, because they had that Guardians of the Galaxy mentality of, you know what? People just want to see new things all the damn time with all these new characters, and we have earned that now. We can do it. You earned it up until Endgame. Right. After Endgame, you had No Way Home, which was, I really liked the movie. It was based on nostalgia too, but it was I liked the movie a lot. But after you run out of your IPs, some of these new characters and other things that they do and the way they ran with certain things, people are like, no, thanks.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
So that's it. What do you guys make of all of it? What do you think about it? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Now, I'm going to tell you about Turtle Beach, and I'm excited. Please, you're going to be thanking me if you get Turtle Beach. It is, the headphones are so good. I'll tell you about them. Okay, it is great to have Turtle Beach back, and I've been talking about Turtle Beach. You guys have been raving about Turtle Beach, and why wouldn't you? The Stealth 700 headset that I got, it was so great. It just stood out to me. It was the sound, man. Like just playing that Indiana Jones game, as I've told you guys, you could just hear every little thing. I love it. And it locks me in. It's better than the other previous headsets I've had. I don't like being aware that there's other things going on around me. I like being locked into it and hearing every bit of the sound design and just comfortability, to be honest with you. I could wear them for hours. I did. It's almost like they're so comfortable in my head. I was like, I didn't realize I have these things on. I love how precise the audio is. I just feel like I'm so locked into the game when I'm doing it. And it's like that feeling I get when I'm in the theater. I'm just in the world because of the sound. I love sound. You guys know that. The other thing that's great about it is the 80-hour battery. That's crazy. I mean, you don't even feel like you ever have to even charge it. The worst is you're playing something and then it just craps out on you. And you're like, oh no. The Stealth 700, it has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. What it means is that you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and your PC with just a click of the button. It gets even better. While being connected to your console, the Stealth 700 can connect with your phone for music streaming or taking calls at the same time. Listen to your favorite songs while gaming, and it's all done with the Stealth 700. And this is the easy part. You head to turtlebeach.com, use that code Kristian for 10% off your entire order. 10% off at turtlebeach.com with the promo code Kristian. But you're going to purchase it, and then they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You say, our show. You support our show, you tell them that we sent you, and get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. All right, thank you to Turtle Beach. And like I said, I really hope you guys are checking that out. The reason they came back is because you guys were checking them out. So I hope you do that and more. John, you and I were going back and forth on text this week talking about the box office, as we usually do.
Yeah.
And we were like, oof, poor Karate Kid. You got that's hilarious. Karate box office Karate chopped. Scheme pays off. Sony's Karate Kid Legends hasn't quite been the box office powerhouse that was hoped last week.
Who was hoping it was good? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sure that they were, and I'm sure that they off of. We can talk about it once we get into it, but I'm sure with Cobra Kai, like they probably thought it was going to be big, but then we'll talk about it. Last week, the method projections had it at 25 million opening weekend, but now it's looking closer to 21, says the studio, while others are indicating it can be lower than around 19 to 20. The 45 million budget has been open since May in some global territories and has so far managed a further 26 overseas, bringing its worldwide gross to 47 million. It likely won't lose money for the studio, at least. A lot will depend on how it fares next weekend and if those high audience score pan out. The box office is instead all about Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. The Disney live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch is now at 63 million domestically in its second weekend, a drop of 57%. Internationally, it fared even better, taking in a further 113.1 million overseas, and a drop of just 28%. The result is a worldwide gross of 611 million and a good shot at the title, either coming close or breaking the billion-dollar mark by the end of its run. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, pulled in 27.3 domestically, dropping the same 57% rate. Internationally, it's also performing better with 76.1 overseas, only a drop of 33% in its second frame. Overall, the film has a worldwide gross of 354. Final Destination, Bloodlines, also continues to impress. The $50 million budgeted horror film has pulled in 229 million worldwide so far, with fairly even half domestic, half overseas split. It banked a further 10.8 domestically this weekend. That's a big number. A24 unveiled horror film Bring Her Back, which opened in fifth place domestically with 7.1, a decent start for the gory and well-reviewed title. The biggest news for this weekend, though, outside of Karate fizzling, is Wes Anderson's A Phoenician Scheme, which is the top-grossing limited opening of the year with an estimated 570,000 from 6 locations, New York and L.A., per screen average of 95,000. The film will expand to 1,500 cinemas next weekend. Let's start with Karate Kid.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to see you out of the theater. I'm assuming you feel the same way that I do about it.
Go ahead. Yes.
Well, so we discussed it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I said that I just think that the movie it doesn't really know what the hell it wants to be. It's the acting's fine. It's like nobody knows what it wants to be. The Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio in there for like 25 minutes. It turns at first it's a Karate Kid remake for 20 minutes. Then it's like, oh yeah, he just gets beat up by the bullies. Next thing he's flipping off the walls and he's teaching Joshua Jackson kung fu, but yet he still can't beat up the kid from Ms. Marvel. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
The movie itself was that's a streaming movie. That is a streaming
100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those movies you watch and you go, yeah, well, at least I watched it on TV. You get outside and go to watch that in the theater, and most people are gonna come back going, what did I just do? I'm assuming you felt the same way.
Yeah, 100%. I went and saw it over the weekend on Saturday. There was only 5 people in the theater with me, so it's a nice open area. And I caught myself at times checking my text messages through the movie because it felt like a TV movie. And it did not feel like one of those theatrical features. As you said, it starts out well because the introduction of Ben Wang, I like it. And you're thrust into the story. Like the story wastes no time. There's an issue between the mom and the son. Jackie Chan is training him. And we know that so then the mom is taking him someplace else. All right, great. As you said, very Karate Kid-esque in the references that they're making, except you're throwing in this tragedy with the story. So I was in. And then you introduce, and he's like chilling in New York, like it's no big deal. I transition to New York. I can figure out the subway. It's no big deal. And then he's making friends really quickly. And then boom, he's got a girl really quickly. And then boom, he's involved in training. So there's just so much that they're rushing from one plot point to the next that they give you no time to really sit and savor these characters and enjoy their interactions, enjoy their back and forths, and really care about them. Because I think a better writer would have really written a fantastic script where he starts out as a karate kid, tastes what it's like to be a Miyagi in training Joshua Jackson's character, and how that changes him as now Jackie Chan and Daniel LaRusso show up to train him, how all three of these things are combining to turn him into a better fighter. And he's going to learn this shit in 7 days. Like, it's just such nonsense throughout the whole movie that it becomes just increasingly stupid. And then by the end, not even the final fight is worth it, to be honest with you.
Post credits are awesome.
The post credit was funny, but they dropped the ball on the main villain guy too. Zapka had way more of a build up in the Karate Kid movie than this kid had, unfortunately. So
it was generic, and it was a lot of it.
Just
they dropped the ball. Sony did, in the way that they approached this. They said, "Oh, people love Karate Kid again." No, people love Cobra Kai. They watched Cobra Kai because they loved Karate Kid.
Yeah,
but you kept them on for as long as you did because you fell in love with everybody involved in it. Not having Josh, Hayden, and John involved in this was an error. It was a big mistake.
Clearly,
but huge mistake. They just tried to go off their property and combine both Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio together.
Yeah,
and introduce a new character. They tried to change things up, and it failed. They should have done a movie in the same way that they did Sex and the City. Do a Cobra Kai movie. You finish it up. Right. You got a better shot at Cobra Kai movie. This movie's an hour and a half long. You make a $45 million Cobra Kai movie. You would have seen at least, like, this movie will maybe break even. Like it said, it depends on what happens next weekend. You got Ballerina coming out, which probably take out some of the audience. Not too much. I know it's a damn different rating, but still, it's still like kind of in the same genre. So yeah, the stuff that does stand out box office wise, though, is two things. Final Destination is juggernaut.
Yes,
it's a juggernaut. Like, what the fact that it cost that little, it's still bringing that kind of money. And this is funny because I just started kind of watching the series. I'm all cut up on 5. I haven't seen 6 yet, but like, I understand the formula, and if you do it and you change it up a little bit, you can really have fun with these as long as you don't overspend on it. And they didn't do that, and they're reaping the benefits.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I like seeing that as well. And such a good movie, such a fun movie. It's not again, not the best of installments, but it's certainly a good one to come back from after all these years and get people excited about the franchise again. And the fact that it's proven to be a box office winner means more actors, more creatives are going to be attracted to doing an installment of this. So that's going to be a lot of fun down the road. Maybe even some up and coming ones with some new ideas, new visions, new approaches to it, which will be great. For me, the other two things here, the Lilo and Stitch, $11 million, that's so fantastic the way it's killing it. My concern, though, with Dead Reckoning, or Final Reckoning, dropping 57%. I mean, the last one made, what, $574 million or something like that? And so the concern becomes, is this one even going to, because we're about to get into the thick of things, man. We're not that far away from the thick of things.
There's no world this movie breaks even.
Yeah, I don't think it even breaks 500, and that concerns me. The
movie costs almost $400 million to make, or something like crazy, because of the COVID stuff and everything too.
Yeah,
it's got to make like $700 to $800 million to like break even. Let's be generous and say, be
100% correct.
Let's be generous and say 675 that it needs to make. I don't know if it's going to make that.
It's not going to make that. No way.
It's not going to make that. I mean, look,
we're going to dig into it. That's for sure. Yeah.
But what it's cemented is that two things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, 3 things are going to happen. Either Paramount is going to decide, hey, maybe we should try a Mission Impossible TV series, streaming series, and just do that and build off of that and do a TV series, and without Ethan Hunt, do your own thing and see if you can survive on whoever the new person is and try a season of it. That's possible. The other thing they're going to do is, okay, well, we're not going to do another Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie because they're going to spend too much money and we're not going to make it back. And Tom Cruise doesn't really care. He's doing Top Gun 3. The other thing that they could potentially do is, okay, can we do a Mission Impossible movie with somebody else that's going to be cheaper? And can we make it for, $150 million?
Yeah. I can't remember who was saying that. One of these actors was saying that about, Isai Morales on the red carpet. They asked him, what would you want to see Tom Cruise do next in the Mission Impossible? He was like, I want him to ascend to the level where he's the one picking the team, but he's not necessarily doing the full mission like the other people are doing the mission. he's handling stuff on a side mission or whatever that helps the overall mission. So because he's getting to that age now where he's over 60 now, where these things are going to start costing him really physically. So I like that idea. That's how you save this franchise. You find a really good new young hot lead, and then you move Tom into the advisor role, essentially what John Voight was playing before he turned in the first movie. You could move Tom into that role, so he's still prominent and he's still getting his money as an executive producer, but he's not the main guy. And I think that's what is going to save this franchise if they want to go forward with it. Because this one, I saw a Screen Rant article saying that they think it might challenge Rogue Nation at 688 million. I'm like, you're insane. You're insane. The numbers, if it's dropped 57% in the second weekend already, it is not going to come even close to 688. That's nonsense.
Yeah, the problem though with the scenario that you and Isai Morales both want for that is that you're still having to pay Tom Cruise money.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm the studio, I'm like, look at these last two returns, Tommy. They've got to
Tom Cruise is going to say, "My name's Tom Cruise. Pay me." It's going to be like Paulie from Goodfellas. F you, pay me. Yeah, as much as, and I don't disagree with people who would clap back and say Mission Impossible is not Mission Impossible without Tom Cruise. I don't disagree, but it doesn't mean the studio is not going to say, hey, what if we try to do Mission Impossible without Tom Cruise? That's because the last two movies they've done with him have not broken even because they're spending too much money on these movies.
Yeah, but they tried that with Transformers, right? Let's do Transformers without Michael Bay. How'd that work out? It's
Bumblebee is a significantly better movie, though.
Yeah, but it didn't make money.
I mean, it didn't bomb, but it still didn't.
No,
it didn't.
Neither did Rise of Beasts.
But Michael Bay is also responsible for that. If you look at the numbers, each movie he started to do was diminishing returns.
I don't disagree with you there.
So he kind of diluted the brand, and then it's like, hey, this is a really nice house. Yeah, but I have mold in the walls now. But enjoy the house, and then the house crumbles down, and it's getting there's mold everywhere. It's like, oh, well, it's not the previous owner's fault. The hell it isn't.
Yeah, but the new owners remodeled it, and no one wants to live in it
because you didn't get rid of the mold. And Michael Bay put the mold in there.
Well, what do you think of this story? I know you don't. I don't think you have it on the rundown. What do you think of this story that broke today on the Wrap that Zaslav had considered hiring Michael Bay to direct the Superman movie before they got Gunn? Yes, before they got. It was the Wrap reported. Before I don't. They're not a lot of sites that I believe. The Wrap, I believe. Gunn and Safran, that was the one they chose, but Zaslav really considered bringing in Michael Bay for Superman.
That just cements the fact the guy has no idea what he's doing when it comes to.
I said it wouldn't break the franchise; it would break the world if he had a Michael Bay Superman. For God,
but that's just somebody out of touch with the idea. He's never claimed to be a movie guy. He's a business guy, right?
He's a business guy,
and he's also an older business guy that remembers. He's like, oh, I remember that walking into the theater and seeing that Armageddon movie, and Armageddon did really, really well. It's like it was the 90s guy. It was a different time back then. He's like, yeah, but what's the difference? It's like a lot of these people are just out of touch, with what works and what doesn't. Putting Michael Bay directing that, I mean, the fan base would have been like mosquitoes. And an open wound. Like, are you kidding me, Michael? I mean, it's the one time that you would have seen Zack Snyder fans and every other fan combined together going, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like, who else would have, like, they would have, that's how they say, like, Braveheart, unite the clans. How do we do it? Hire Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Perfect. Yeah.
Well, it would have been absolutely ridiculous.
Megan Fox is Lois Lane in a way too tight blouse. I mean,
slow motion as she's walking with the camera to, and like, wait, is she holding a camera? All I can see are her legs and her rear end. It's like, so, yeah.
He'd probably put like red, white, and blue trunks on Superman.
No, he changed it. I mean, Superman would shoot rockets, shooting rockets in slow motion. No, that would have been the absolute worst thing that could ever happen.
Sydney Sweeney would have been.
But here's the thing, though. But this is why. Also, to be fair, as much as I say that about Zaslav, really, he clearly doesn't know what he's doing. The argument against what I just said is, well, wait a minute.
Yeah,
he was going to, and then he had conversations with people that said maybe you shouldn't do that, and he said, oh, all right. What about the James Gunn and Safran guy? And he didn't make that decision. He went with Safran and Gunn. So, like, it's like
you could. It could be the Michael Bay said, nah, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he's not. Maybe they didn't want to pay him. Maybe they didn't want to pay him. Like you said, Tom Cruise. I'm Michael Bay. You're going to pay me.
Also true. I mean, it's also
Dunes is going to produce it. Yeah,
I know. It's also very true that could have been the case, but luckily enough,
you're trying to give credit to a guy not shooting the gun, even though he pulled the gun out. Oh, he didn't shoot. He didn't shoot.
Right. Oh, speaking of which, so I've got the official kind of story up here. It's a bunch of different things on here, but
there it is. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
So this new Superman budget, Bay, and influence talk. So let's see. A lengthy feature piece on James Gunn's Superman has been posted by The Wrap this morning. Yeah. Confirms some more details about the film's gestation, economics, and overall studio concerns. First up, the outlet indicates the film boasts a production budget of $225. One studio insider says anything north of 500 million worldwide box office will be considered a profit. However, a top talent agent said the big issue the film faces isn't competition from Jurassic World or Fantastic Four. Rather, it's almost entirely a question if Superman resonates with today's audience and if Gen Z can identify with his old-fashioned character. They advise that the film will need to cross 700 million to be considered a true success. The simple brand recognition of Superman will probably take them to or close to 500 million worldwide. Anything above that will be because the audience identifies with the title character. The Henry Cavill-led Man of Steel made 670 million worldwide, while Batman v Superman made it to 874 million. Those are the benchmarks to match or beat. The film is also, not surprisingly, being pegged as a major litmus test for not just DC or superhero films, but Warner Brothers Pictures' future as well. Piece also reveals in 2022, Warner's chief Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdi briefly tried to get a new Henry Cavill-led Superman film going with Michael Bay eyed to possibly direct. Okay, that was supposed to be Henry Cavill. Poor Henry Cavill, stuck with all the bad shit. I mean, this was before Gunn and Safran were hired to run DC Studios, and Zaslav reconstructing DC to separate it from the larger Warner Brothers Pictures group. So the pair reported directly to Zaslav, not DeLuca, and Pam Abdi. The article follows on from Gunn, revealing yesterday that the acclaimed Godzilla -1 was a big influence on the movie, showing how to do great human drama mixed with major action. I like that. Meanwhile, Nicholas Hoult has revealed to Empire that he cites Gene Hackman and Michael Rosenbaum's character interpretations as the biggest influences on his work as Luthor in the film. Well, the first thing I'd like to say is, John, you had mentioned, though, in that article that it was Zaslav. They say it's DeLuca and Abdi that wanted it.
But Zaslav was considering it, is what I'm getting. And he's the final guy that says,
but they're the one. True. But that's my point. They went out and said, hey, what about Michael Bay? And he's like, will he do it? But they came up with that idea.
Yeah, sure.
Like that's like you watch in the studio, and that's like, you get Sal and Seth Rogen going up and going, hey, what do you think about Michael Bay doing this? And then they go to Bryan Cranston, and he's like, what do you think you'll do it? That's that kind of moment. But those two are to blame for that.
If Paulie and Silvio come up with something and Tony even considers it, Tony takes some of the blame.
Totally fair. Absolutely fair.
You should little numbers.
I know, absolutely fair. But I think that overall, I like what I'm hearing. I like the idea of where they're going with the character pieces. And Gunn's always been good with that. You can't just do blowing up and, oh, look, it's a cute dog. You got to care about the characters, and you got to care about Superman for sure. And I also agree with the assessment of the numbers. Let's say if it's 225 or whatever it might be, 500 DC, the new DCU is able to survive, but they're going to be against the ropes, right?
Yeah.
Anything over like 600 up, they're like, okay, we got Superman out there, we're doing good. 700 and up, it's a hit, right?
700 up, yeah.
At 700 up, it's a hit, and then you can keep making your movies, and you can breathe a little easier. Anything lower than 500, like they said, it is a big problem for DC in general and a huge problem for Warner Brothers.
That's why these first reactions are going to be massive. The first reviews, the first reactions, because I think the tracking, if I can see, it's tracking for 154 to 185 as of a few days ago per Box Office Theory, right? 154 to 185. Snyder had it at 175. His tracking from what he's seeing is 175. So that's a good start.
175 opening weekend is crazy.
But if the movie is mixed in terms of the reactions, that could affect the subsequent box office weeks, and that could drive it.
Sure, but John, even if it has, sorry to cut you off, but let's say his number is 175 is accurate for domestic, right? It's beyond good because it means even if you have a 50% drop, your drop for the second week is still going to be pretty damn good.
That's what I'm saying. You get out the gate really fast, so it helps you hit that number. But I think they got to get above 700. They got to make better. They got to do better than Man of Steel, or else all the articles come out going, "Why didn't this do better than Man of Steel?" And it's a bad look. And I think they've been coming out with these comments because THR did an article on Friday. Now the Wrap does a breakdown of this whole thing because there were reports, Jordan Rumi over at World of Real and other places that were talking about behind the scene issues. They cut 25 minutes off of this thing. They leaned away from the humor. They brought in a new composer. So there's a lot of drama behind the scenes. So they're trying to combat it with this approach. And it's not an accident that Gunn drops Godzilla -1. That's to get people thinking that it's in that and then it's not an accident that Nicholas Hoult mentioned the two favorite Lex Luthors, Gene Hackman and Michael Rosenbaum.
It makes sense.
Marketing for sure.
I actually hope that rumor's true. I've been telling you that. Some humor and Jimmy Olsen and that stuff is fine, but like Gunn can't help himself when it comes to humor. He just can't help himself, and I hope it doesn't overpower the movie. I really hope it doesn't overpower the movie. And if that was the case for people are going to lose their minds. You gotta change this. There's a comment in here that didn't make sense. It said that first reactions are irrelevant. It's word of mouth that is important. But that's the same thing. First reactions is word of mouth.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Maybe they mistyped it. I might have mistyped it. All right. So that's my question then for you guys. What do you think about it? Do you think that this movie is going to make that kind of money? Do you think it's going to do well? Or is Warner Brothers in trouble? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. And also make sure, if you haven't subscribed to the Clips channel, Kristian Harloff Clips, just put it in your search bar, subscribe to it. If 25 of you do that today, we're going to hit 10,000 subscribers. So make sure you do that. All right, let's get into your questions. John's starting out the week this week. John, way better week this week than on Memorial Day for you last week. So we got you at 33 already. But before we do it, what's going on the channel, my man?
Hey, the Outlaw Nation channel. Head on over there, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of fun stuff going on. I spent the whole weekend doing reaction videos to the Tudum stuff from Netflix, which is a lot of fun. Dropped a two reactions today. The Megan 2.0, we dropping in at 1, and then earlier the Black Phone 2. I did a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun reacting to that one. But we've got Spill the Tequila back tomorrow night. Me and Winston Marshal talking about some hot topic news, Geek Buddy stuff, the hot mic later on this week, which will be going to 2 shows probably next week, depending on how that all plays out, and a new Jedi way with an awesome new layout that our graphics guy just finished up. So a lot happening on the channel. Come aboard here, youtube.com/John Rocha Says, the Outlaw Nation.
Please, guys, go and check that out. And we, as I was saying, we got so much coming up, dude. Today we did. So Sadie and I are going back and watching. She hadn't seen Jurassic Park in forever. There's a few of them that she hasn't even seen in general. We're doing the entire Jurassic Park series. I just found out over the weekend that Tina has never seen any John Wick movies. So perfect timing right before Ballerina. So we're going to watch that. Sam and I are doing the MCU. So and Kate Mulligan's coming in on Wednesday in town, and we're going to watch Sinners. She hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, wow.
So we got a full week. We got a big week.
What's Kate? Is she doing stand-up still? What is she doing?
No, she's here with her family. She's in she's in Jersey right now. Derek starting us off.
What's up, Derek?
Some support. Thank you, Derek. 37 so far, John. They maybe start you off, get you to 100 to start the week. That'd be good. Jay Anderson, did you guys see the Doomsday AI footage? AI is scary. No, what was it, John?
Yeah, it's a lot of Doom. Yeah, it was all AI. It was
the pictures in the
pictures, video. It was video, and it was unsettling how believable it is. Yeah, this thing is jumping exponentially by leaps and bounds every day. This AI stuff, man, it's madness.
Let me ask you a tinfoil hat. Tinfoil hat question.
Okay.
So if AI has done what it's done, in a year and a half, really, a little bit more, but a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
Think about what AI could be in 100 years from now.
100.
Right? I'm saying in 100 years from now,
we'll be dead.
So, or
as a species, go ahead. Yeah.
Or what do you think about the theory of the simulation theory?
What is the simulation theory? Explain it to
me. It's essentially what the Matrix was built off of. The Matrix was not an original idea. It was based off the simulation theory that this is AI. This is a computer.
What we're living in now is AI.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Yeah. And in a world where but when there are top scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson who doesn't believe in aliens and other things, who says that it is way more likely that we are living. He said like something like 50-50, crazy odds that it's simulation theory. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not saying what I believe or what I don't believe. I'm just saying when you look at the scientists that actually believe this, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, people matrix size. The idea of simulation theory, look it up. It's pretty nuts.
If it's true, then I'd like to have a conversation with the people who dictate the current timeline, because I'd like to have a real strong conversation with those mother effers, in my opinion. So
fair enough.
But
Derek,
certainly something to consider. Certainly
throwing in the support.
Thank you, Derek.
Okay, next one after that. Thank you again for Derek. Thank you everybody who
You're the best.
Who putting in those questions. You got 42 already, John. You're kicking butt.
Nice.
Go, pal. That was convenient. Delayed start today. Let me finish Roxy's episode from last week. Support. Thank you. Yeah, it's convenient for you. My microphone is laying on the floor. Apparently, Brett says he thinks he knows how I can fix it. So I'm going to call him after.
Good.
Derek. Thank you, Derek. I think Derek's going to push you over to
let's go
new heights today. We shall see. And I'm glad I didn't call it today. I had a good show with you here today, John.
Thank you. You too. Yeah.
All right. Shelf presents. RIP trailer or RIP trailer from Damon and Affleck looked good. Yeah, I like. I mean, I hope it. Who's directing it? Is Affleck directing it?
No, I think they got someone.
Somebody else.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they would have put more of an effort.
RIP. It is directed by Joe Carnahan. Right, Joe Carnahan did Narc. Yeah,
I loved it. We interviewed. Joe was great.
Yeah, Joe's an awesome dude. I like Joe.
Bitch boy.
Hey,
have you seen how big Ricky Gervais is live? Do you mean as far as how many people show up to see him, or do you mean as far as big? But I mean, as far as him popular wise, yeah, people love Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Jay Anderson, I say every time I look at Jay's picture, I say it's Drew McIntyre.
Oh yeah.
Jay Anderson, perhaps Netflix is less controlling the major studios, which is more appealing to creatives and directors to work with. Also, could be very true. I don't think Sarandos gets as involved as some of these other people do.
Both good and bad, right? Because then you see some of these directors who get to do whatever they want to do, and then the product isn't that strong. Like
look at the Russos.
Yeah, the Russos, right? With Grayman and a couple of Cherry, which is Apple, but still, yeah.
Derek coming in with some more support. Thank you, Derek. A lot of support here from Derek today.
Thank you, Derek.
Derek starting you off strong this week, John. Peter Kalenko. Was Luthen and Cassian involved in the drone operation by the Ukrainians? Hashtag huge brass balls. You talk about together, put it in politics, and if you want me to just go like this.
Yeah, we can't comment on that, but
no comment. But I know what you're trying to
do. Not on this show.
Not on this show. Go to Rocha's channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Support from Kristian's mic stand. Yeah, nice. I get so frustrated. These I get to a place where I wish I had a mallet and I could just smash it, and then I go, no, who's going to pay for that?
You need a stress ball. You need a stress ball by
yourself. Fine. You know the thing is, dude, ever since I started this channel, I've like the Schmodown, I'm telling you, I was the most stressed.
Yeah,
I hated it. It was the worst. Not the show. I love the show, but I'm saying dealing with it all. It was the worst, stress wise. It was just the worst. I haven't been stressed at all doing this channel. I mean, there's some things like stupid. It's always technology shit that when it comes down to those little things, but it's so stupid. I'm in the middle of doing this whole reaction.
It makes you feel stupid, and we don't like to be made stupid.
Out of nowhere, it just falls off and it won't go back on. Like, why right before the show does this decide to do that?
Right.
Mike Joyce, wow, bring her back. Any plans to see it? If I do, it might be like a reaction with Tina, who's the person I do horror movies with.
Right on.
Yeah. Do you have any chance?
I was gonna see it when we had the screening, but I couldn't make it, and now I don't know if I want to put myself through it because that Talk to Me messed me up, man. That first film of theirs messed me up. So
really? Okay. Never saw it. Mike Joyce, what was the last movie you saw when you said to yourself immediately after watching anything this director makes in the future is a must watch for me? Probably Batman Begins with Nolan. Because I think Nolan. I remember thinking that like this guy's just so.
I mean, obviously for me it was Spike Lee would Do the Right Thing. Like I knew immediately. I'm like, I need to watch whatever he's going to create.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's some good questions. Think about
bitch it. Boy, I love you. I love you too, bitch boy. I am Jax 12. Jay Cameron bought The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Co-writing the script, announced a few hours ago. This is going to be awesome. I don't know that story. Do you know it, John?
No, I don't know it. Yeah, that's great. Anything Cameron doing outside of Avatar, I'm on board with.
Yeah, which doing it. I mean, yeah, directing it. We won't say. Someone said, "I wish Kristian would talk about budgets more on the show." Yep, it's the.
I would say Michael Bay. When I saw Bad Boys, I knew that was a guy I wanted to watch going forward. I just liked his style and his aesthetic. So I would say that. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, Man in the Back.
Spike Lee answer better. Reggie Brown, scrappy move what WWE did to Truth.
Oh, dude, did you see that?
I did. I saw that. Here's my question. I'm
and Carlito, both of them.
I saw that. I'm on two. I have.
Oh boy.
I have two questions.
All right, go ahead.
Question one is the guy has been so loyal and he's been so, great and adds so much comedy. Like, why not just give him a salary and use him for comedy bits and keep him around for as long as you can, right?
Yeah, he'd have done it.
The other side of it is, okay, look, we're in a business. The guy's been around for a long time. We don't have any use for the comedy side of it right now. We're trying to do different things. We're trying to bring in new people. And it's not time. I lean on this more of the side of question one, and why not just keep him around because he's been so loyal and he's been so good. Yeah. But I see both sides of it. You're more so on the first.
I'm not the only one. Like, it was an explosion over social media. Like, even Coach got into it, tweeting about it. How many people reacted negatively? Yeah. All these wrestlers over the weekend posting their favorite R-Truth moments with him, working with Miz at a beautiful tribute. Becky Lynch.
Miz stopped following the WWE on Twitter after that. Did you see that?
Your top people are responding in this way. That's something to look at. But TKO doesn't give a shit. TKO has become an influencer brand. They are not WWE. WWE is an arm of their influencer brand, but that's their approach. You say you don't need comedy. Why the hell am I having Logan Paul and his stooges doing comedy at every one of these premium live events? Like, it's nonsense. R-Truth is the best at it. But Cole said it a few months ago. WWE is not about pro wrestling anymore, and it's clear when you're seeing these decisions. And apparently Triple H, as it was reported in one of the sites, was apparently the final the final approval with letting go of Truth and Carlito, which sucks.
Yeah. Orca 447.
Hey.
Pixar's Ilio has an estimated cost of $300 million. Really?
Yeah.
Why? And it's projected the second worst opening for the studio.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of stuff that I just how does that happen?
Well, we have to know, was it a COVID situation? Because Ilio's been on the shelf for a while. So did they reshoots? Did they do COVID? Was it an issue with that?
Trying to save it.
Good question. Yeah. But yeah, that's a lot of money for that film that doesn't have a lot of brand recognition.
That's what I mean. It's no like those oof. Yeah, that's an error.
Yeah.
That is an error. I wonder if that's true. Film stock, what's up, man? How about that Stranger Things footage? Can't wait for season 5 later this year. Do you think the season breaks Netflix viewership records? I think it's going to do pretty damn good. And I was excited for what I saw, and I actually liked that they didn't give a full trailer yet.
I have to say I agree with you.
Yeah. They teased it enough to where they brought out some of the cast. They had enough in there, a little bit of a couple of teases here and there. I was excited not to see a full thing. And I don't even really necessarily know what the story is about. Right. I'm just going to have little glimpses. But I do think that all three of those, they're going to they play these like movies. That's why they call them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's like, this is the 5th big, huge movie that they're doing. It's got a very good shot to break Netflix viewership records, because I think even people who maybe took time off from it are going to come back and check it out.
Yeah, and it's the final season. That's why they don't need to spend 2 minutes giving you a trailer just yet. Like, and I think that and Squid Game season 3, those two are going to vie for breaking the records for viewership on Netflix.
All this information that I have no idea about. This is exciting to me, and I'm finding out about it from Ewok, who says, thoughts on Colin Trevorrow and Paramount now making a film about Bob Lazar, George Knapp, and Area 51. Are we heading into the golden age of UFO movies? Do you know when that was announced, John? Can you look at that and see?
I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah, Trevorrow. I mean, so if you don't know about Bob Lazar, do you know who Bob Lazar is, John?
I do not. I know the other names, but I don't know.
Bob Lazar was someone who George Knapp, who is still a reporter who has a podcast with Jeremy Corbell.
Okay.
George Knapp is kind of like the godfather of UFO reporters on news. Wow. Like, and he was. There's this whole story of how he found Bob Lazar, because George Knapp wasn't chasing UFOs, didn't believe in any of this stuff too, and he had the dude from John Lear, from the Lear jets and everything too, came in, talked about this program and all these things that the government was working on, and non-human intelligence and all those different things, and mentioned that there was this guy who worked at this program that would do an interview with Bob Lazar. With George Knapp. George Knapp did all these interviews with Bob Lazar. Yeah, Bob Lazar talked about the programs and everything that he worked on. And Bob Lazar is a very kind of polarizing figure in the community. Like, there are a lot of people, like, he's been on Rogan a shit ton of times where Rogan will say the thing that is always so intriguing about him is, if you look at his story from the 80s until now, nothing has ever changed. Every interview he's given has always been the same. Nothing has ever changed. So people have always been asking when they were going to do a movie about Bob Lazar. And so it looks like Paramount is doing it.
So here's what I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
It's at yes, Paramount is doing, but Colin Trevorrow is doing this with maximum effort. So Ryan Reynolds' production team.
Okay.
It's set in the late 1980s. The project follows the local Las Vegas TV news journalist who first broke the story of Area 51.
Yeah.
Thomas and William Wheeler are writing the script. So that's
so giving that whole program, and then they're probably going to put it in effect of, like, they're probably going to make it seem, the way that they're going to shoot this is like, do you believe it? I wonder if George Knapp is a producer on it at all. It'd be interesting to see, because they just announced that. But that goes back into, are we headed into the golden age of UFO movies? You have 4 huge UFO movies coming out. You got the documentary that's coming out, Age of Disclosure, which is Dan Farah from Area 51, from Ready Player One, which I'm very interested to get your thoughts on it as someone who doesn't follow the topic in general. It's going to be a big documentary that's coming out. It was at South by. All these different people saw it. So that's documentary. Then you have the movie with Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
And I believe the working title is Disclosure, or whatever it is, with Emily Blunt and Wyatt Russell, which is going to be shooting in Jersey. And from how locked in Spielberg is to the topic, there's probably going to be a lot of stuff. The fact that it's called Disclosure, and it's going to be a little bit more about, like, kind of the investigation side of it. And then you have the one with Kaczynski, right? Doing that one. He's doing it with David Grush, who was the 2023 whistleblower, who in front of Congress said that we have craft and all these other things. So it is interesting that now is the time that everybody's kind of making these movies and not treating it like, science fiction, treating it like this is what could potentially be out there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, people are, listen, I want to clarify. I've always believed in UFOs since I was a kid, right? But, like, the government hiding those are the things that I'm not necessarily 100% on board with, but I'm always open to watch documentaries on them, and I've watched them, like, on the most recent episodes of Unsolved Mysteries have some really interesting breakdowns, and there's been a bunch of them on Netflix. There's a bunch of documentaries.
It is, but this is why even what you just said there, this is why for you're a very educated person. You pay attention to a lot of these things too. What you just said there, there's no claims that the government is hiding it. It's that Lockheed Martin is one of the outside area who they make military weapons. They're private companies. They're the ones that everybody said it, and the government is the ones trying to figure out what the hell is going on. It's not the government hiding. There's sections of the government people involved who understand it, but it's
I grew up in a time where that was the prevalent belief, was that the government was hiding the existence of UFOs, Area 51, all of that from the military.
Yeah, but it's like, but
now surely that's changed, as you said, private contractors.
It's just the private contractors that are involved with the government, with portions of the government, but it's a lot. Just paying attention to this stuff over the last year and a half. It's crazy how much stuff is out there. Derek Johnson, support. Carlton. Thank you, Derek, so much. Carlton Rudder, London Calling, what's up? Out for my 16th birthday. John, looking great with the weight loss. Super episode of Cinephiles with Crimson Tide Part 1. Did you guys just do that one?
Yeah, we started. Yeah, we dropped Part 1 over the weekend, breaking it down. Film I haven't seen in a long time, brother. And there's a lot that feels very resonant in 2025. I was blown away. So, yeah. And thanks, bud. I'm down 30 pounds. So thank you very much.
Good for you. Corn Emperor, support for the Rocha. There you go. Support so far is at 62. You might be able to actually hit 100 here, John. Corn Emperor, hope you and your family are well and safe in San Diego, Rocha. What's going on in San Diego? Another earthquake?
No, I think well, there was the plane crash and there was just stuff that's been going on here in the heat. There was a fire that had like, it was, I think 50,000 acres over there in some place that was a little bit close to it. So yeah, it's a crazy time right now.
Right.
Plus the ice raids, which I know we're not going to get into here, but that stuff's really upsetting in the city as well. Yeah.
Adit Mahmood, should Alan Richson join Mission Impossible? I think that would be interesting.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I like that idea,
but I like him being a part of it. Yeah.
And why not the lead? If you're going to do it for $100 million as opposed to $300 or $400 million, why not?
Okay.
I mean, he's got to give a shot to try. You got to make new stars.
You do.
Yeah. Brooklyn. Hi, my hung heroes. Hey, I'll take it. It's hard to text on Zans and Addies. Brooklyn's been saying some crazy shit lately, and I love it. Simon Section. A Michael Bay Superman. Have you guys read the beginning of the script for Michael Bay's Batman movie back in the day? Oh, my God. Lots of explosions and slow-mo descriptions. Zack Snyder would be proud. Kristian and John are cooking. Oh, my God. It makes me ill. Just ill. Derek Johnson. Lois Lane. Sex podcast. Super Pro, the soft side. Perry White. A beast stereotype. Jimmy Olsen. Gender swap. The swimsuit model. Crypto. Black stereotype. Pitbull. Lex Luthor. Mexican stereotype. Drug king. 1,000%. If you're doing a Michael Bay movie, that's exactly what you would have gotten. You nailed it, Derek.
Lex Luthor.
Best one so far. Gen V season 2 is coming. Can't wait. Yeah, it's so tragic what happened to that poor kid. But but yeah, that's good. I like that show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still haven't seen the boys, last season of the boys.
Season 5 of the boys. Oh man,
still haven't seen it. More support from Derek. Thank you.
Thank you,
Tina and You Should React to Bring Her Back in the Brothers' debut film. Talk to Me. That's the one that Rocha's talking about. I had nightmares last night. They're putting too much butter on my popcorn. Is it crazy, that movie?
Talk to Me?
Yeah.
Like, and it's a low budget horror. And these guys came out of YouTube and they just knew exactly how to nail a low budget horror. Man, that shit sat with me for like a week. Nothing has affected me horror wise since Paranormal Activity.
Really?
That film did. Like those two films. Yeah.
I think I need that in my life. Derek Johnson support. Thank you, Derek. Clip Champ Razor.
Hey.
Did you happen to see the report that the Fantastic Four screenings reactions the media outlets ran with was mischaracterized? Meaning what? That there were screenings and people were saying that it was not great, but that's not what people were saying?
I think it was My Time to Shine Hello who did an apology, or maybe Daniel Richtman, one of them over the weekend, did an apology because they blasted out this report that people yelled mid after the Fantastic Four screening was over, but apparently it was only one person that might have been yelling it for attention as opposed to an honest opinion. But you can't deny that the reactions have been mixed, whatever people say, because there were other people who were there who said it was mixed. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, though, I always, in the same way that I don't take any merit to the influencers going to the premieres. And everyone says how much they loved it, and because they were there sitting next to the celebrities, and now they love the movie. Of course they do. Every premiere, everybody loves the movie. So I don't take that serious. I don't take a lot of these screenings serious. I'm not saying that they're not legit. I'm not saying that maybe it is mid. It very well could be.
They're test screenings to find what's wrong, right? So
yeah, but and look, it could be a not good movie, but I just, who's watching it? Like,
right.
In a way that, like, when I always use an example, like a comedian. If I see a comedian with a bunch of people that I know, don't think that person is funny, right?
Right.
I'm going to be the one person laughing in that thing, and it's going to feel awkward. The energy is not going to feel the same. Right. And I'm going to go, is this person not funny? Or am I not? What the hell's going on? Then the flip side of that is I see a bunch of fans who think that person is funny.
Yes.
And then there's 3 people over on the side who don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
Who's right? Who's wrong? The answer is nobody. It depends on what your senses are, what your sensibility is when you see the movie. You got to. So that's why people go, well, if it's not relevant what people say, then why do you guys do what you think? Why I should listen to you? Because you might relate to the way John and I see movies. You might watch John's reactions and go, most of the time when I watch John's reactions, I say we're on the same page. So when he says it, 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to feel that way. And the same thing goes for me. Now, there's other times you can go, look, we're like, that's my whole point is like when a dumb, stupid, idiot, moron, jerk off asshole face will comment on the thing and go, but this guy, he liked this movie. It's like, Yeah, because I thought that particular movie was either fine, okay, I liked it, and you didn't. So we probably just don't line up on that movie, or maybe in all the different movies. So either, yeah,
it's all opinion based, people.
100%.
All opinion based. So it's just mind blowing that some people get so mad about it. And it's usually like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah blah, whatever their name is on their handle. It's mind blowing.
There's just a lot of dumb people out there.
You have too much time to make stupid comments like that. Yeah.
There's dumb people there. Bitch boy, what do you do when you toot? I love Ern Cerebral. Cool. I just say I'd steal from George Carlin. My favorite thing is he goes, why do people say excuse me after they fart? Shouldn't they say look out? My favorite. It's my favorite. Nice. Go Pal.
Hey.
Sorry if you already talked about it, but it was away most of last week. What did you think of Fountain of Youth with Portman and Krasinski? Did you see it?
I haven't still. All three of the Geek Buddies, or two of the Geek Buddies and another friend of mine saw it, and they were on text chain. They were just like,
didn't like it, huh?
Yeah, and they two of them are pretty lenient on movies. So
I started it with Sadie, and we started watching. It was fine for what I've literally only watched the first 4 minutes of it, and then she goes, do you want to go? Do you want to go back and watch it last night? And I said, no, I don't want to. I was like, I don't have any interest in watching it. I think that's one of those things. What we just talked about.
Yeah,
I heard more people talking about how good it was. I probably would have, but all I hear is that it's shit. And it doesn't mean that I wouldn't go, that was fine, but I don't know if I want to watch another just a fine movie. My brother texted me the other day. He said, what's your favorite movie of the year so far? I said, Sinners, and I thought Thunderbolts was good. I don't know what else I've seen that has stood out, that has been that's a great movie.
I thought Warfare is in the comments. I don't know if you saw that one. Yeah. Guy, you got to see it, man. It is do a reaction. People love you.
I was going to. It's again. I have to. It's time. All this week, I'm shooting a bunch of stuff, and eventually, I'd love to. But there's just been subpar shit out there right now for the most part. Yeah. Go Pal. That's what finally got me to subscribe to Apple. The Fountain of Youth. Interesting. Must be a big Natalie Portman guy.
Yeah, because they have no chemistry. Yeah.
Derek Johnson. Did you make any promises to yourself when you hit 40?
I'll let you know when I get there.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe, but it's who knows if I stuck to it or not, Derek? I don't even know. Probably told I probably told myself we're going to start working out, and then years later, I finally did it. And Sister McCall, Harloff would be Lex Luthor and base Superman. Yeah, just walk into the car in slow motion. You remember when I shaved my head during the pandemic? Definitely do. Gabe Oliveira 805 Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap John. Isn't that the weirdest thing?
It's so
hard. Why is she doing that though?
Because I think she marches to a completely different drum and plays to all the quadrants that she can play to.
Maybe.
So she doesn't care.
Warham Ranger just says, I just want to say I appreciate everything you do. Thank you. Your shows make my day a little bit better. I really do love when people say that. It's that to me, it's that's so it's humbling and nice. I really appreciate it. Much love to you both and have a great day. Thank you to you. That's very, very kind of a wonderful day. Go Pal. I thought it was really fun and worth it. Okay.
All right, Go Pal.
Go Pal dug it. Again, there's somebody out there that really liked it.
Right.
Pinwheel Productions. Hey, gents, huge fan. Thank you, Pinwheel. Did either of you see Bring Her Back? And what's your favorite horror movie of all time? Favorite horror movie of all time? I mean, I think Conjuring is up there. The only reason I say that, though, Conjuring's the one you pick. I'm not traditionally the biggest horror guy.
Yeah.
Conjuring was one of those movies. I gave that one 5 out of 5 schmoes when we were doing it. So it was that good. I loved that movie. I don't like slasher movies. Although I like the Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's not my thing, right? I like layered movies, story, and if you're going to creep me out while you're doing it, fine. So I would say Conjuring.
I guess maybe The Shining or The Thing. Like you said, that builds up to moments that are pretty horrific, but it's also commentary on human beings throughout the thing.
Yeah.
And The Shining is the same way. This idea that you're stuck in this place and how madness can corrupt you, and that if you believe in this nonsense, you'll even turn on your family. So there's something really powerful in that. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Nathan Drake, apologies if you discussed this already. Thoughts on Andor costing $650 million for the series? Too much. I mean, that's not Andor season 2. That's both seasons together.
Right.
You would essentially, but over that's over 325 million per season. As much as I love that show, yeah, it's too much. It's too much. I love that show. I love it. I'm glad they spent it because I got to see it. But as far as like how you're going to make your money back on that, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know how they make the money back on it. It's not like a ratings juggernaut. The season 2 did way better than season 1 in the rating.
Right.
But it's not enough to justify that kind. I don't know the answer to the question. I would say probably not.
I mean, I think you have to look at it in a case-by-case basis, right? And it's like I think they understood where they were going with Andor, and certainly Tony Gilroy said recently, like, I started out with having Andor commit a murder, and it's a strip club and like or a gentleman's club, whatever it was. Like, I wanted to test how far Disney was willing to go with this story, and the fact that Disney was okay with it, and the money they wanted. Clearly, somebody at Disney, Kathleen Kennedy or somebody, saw that there was a possibility of prestige television here with this show, and so they spent that money. It's the same thing with Apple spending the money on Killers of the Flower Moon. That film didn't make any money, but they wanted awards attention for it. So maybe that was the approach. I get in a vacuum that seems like a lot to spend, but you have to understand what they were going for here. So, but
but also the difference that we talked about with Apple is they pooped that out in an afternoon.
Of course, yeah. Other things have to suffer.
Yes,
for Disney spending $650 on this.
Right.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
Zach Cantrell became a YouTube member. What a great time to do it right now. PLD has been working really hard. He got a whole bunch of the non-edited reactions up. I think we just put Thor up there. We're going to be putting a few more up this week. Got tons of them for memberships, patrons. We have the live streams that we do. So it's a really good time to be a member right now. Doug Developer, Rocha, explain to Kristian why you despise Billy Madison. What? And Kristian, tell Rocha why he's insane. Top 10 funniest movies ever. Doug was like, I can answer why. Rocha was 40 years old when that movie came out.
No, it was not. We just established that I haven't even made any promises to myself. No, it's just not my kind of humor. But I loved Happy Gilmore. So, Billy Madison is a certain distinct type of humor. There's just some humor like Clue. Like, these films just do not work for me that people love so much. But I did like his other films. But Billy Madison is just too ridiculous. It's
ridiculous. I love that kind of humor, though.
Yeah, I love that.
Why are you laughing at me, Swan?
I love it. He called the shit poop. It's great juvenile humor. I love it.
Exactly.
You're too cool. You're too cool. Derek Johnson, WWE sucks for scrapping him. He should have got a small send off. That I agree with.
Yeah.
Not John Cena level, but just for his loyalty alone. I agree with that tenfold. Like, they should have said, like, okay, listen, we're not going to be able to keep you around for much longer, but we're going to give you a deal where you can do this, and we're going to send you off this way. Maybe in their mind, they're going, we did that. We gave you John Cena's match. We thought it was a good way to showcase you on Saturday night's main event, and then we shook hands and said goodbye.
Right.
But it comes off as ungrateful.
Yeah, they clearly didn't know they were firing him. Or if they did and didn't do the program to make it a career, like put your career on the line, so then you could make it a whole meta thing. They blew it. If they knew they were letting him go before that whole program was seen, they blew it. Yeah,
they blew it. They should, because the fans still love him.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Yeah.
Armada, Laura LaFranc for an Arkham Heist breakout series. That'd be cool.
Sure,
that'd be cool. I'd like to see her do this. I love what she did with Penguin, so why not? Do you know something?
No.
What do you know? Don't lie, you lying son of a bitch. What do you know? You waiting to save him for Hot Mike? You give me something. Give me something. What do you know?
No, I mean, if you read the tea leaves and you have any sort of an analytical mind, the fact you've got the rumors coming out last week that James Gunn can't seem to get any of his TV shows greenlit over at HBO, and Lauren LaFranc is out here saying, oh yeah, we can do a spinoff of this, of this,
So HBO wants their stuff. They don't want guns.
I think they're in a place of like, well, let's see what happens. I think everything, just as people have said, I'm not breaking any new ground here. Everything depends on Superman, because Superman will give Gunn more cachet inside WB. If that underperforms, then I don't know what happens if that underperforms, drastically underperforms. I don't know what happens. And then what happens to Matt Reeves? Because a lot of people still think we're not going to see that Batman Part 2 from him.
Not if Superman does well. No.
Yeah.
Bitch boy. Have you ever your friend been okay? No. But thank you for asking. Derek Johnson, I feel like the time frame for COVID movies /TV needs to be established and asterisks put beside them. They're just too much during that time that can't be accounted for quality time and money. Time for COVID movies. Yeah, it's true. I think we're aging out of them.
Sure.
I think, but
yeah,
but yes, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of articles come out that flesh it out. But putting asterisk, I don't think that's going to help that much. But so there's a lot of people who try to break down, but not a lot of people read it. They go for the clickbait headlines first. Yeah.
Right. Chris Kraus.
Hey.
On newborn schedule. Oh, I understand that. Feel like Kristian and the Roxy show 24/7. John, I'm jealous of your hairline.
Oh, thank you.
We pro or anti cocaine fueled films. 80s had some fun flicks. 80s had some of the best flicks ever. I'm still would argue that 1989 might be the best year of movies ever. Wow. You go back and look at some of those movies.
I would love to do a separate show with you where we talk about 1989 films. I saw those in the theaters. Opening day sometimes. So,
dude, I almost wrote a book. Brad Gilmore and I were working on a book just about how 1989 was like a major year for movies. It never came to fruition, but like Field of Dreams, Major League, Beetlejuice.
Do the Right Thing is
Do the Right Thing. That's what it was. Do the Right Thing, not Beetlejuice. I mean, Driving Miss Daisy. I think Harry Met Sally. So many different movies, classics that came out in that year. It's crazy when you look at all the movies that came out in that year.
Last Crusade came out that year.
Future 3, I think, maybe.
Batman Part 2 came out that year. Roadhouse came out that year. Uncle Buck.
What came out Part 2? Back to the Future.
Back to the Future 2, yes.
Right.
Little Mermaid, which was the beginning of a new renaissance.
It's a crazy decade when you look at all the movies that came out. I mean, crazy year. Derek Johnson, more support. You're at 71, John. Very impressed with this. Very impressed. Thank you. Paul Hitchcock, still asking. Everyone asked you. Weird, right? We're still doing that one again. It's gotta be this. It's gotta be.
Did Roxy have a show last week? Is that what they're referring to? Did she host a show last week?
Oh no. Yeah, no. Me and her, we did. We did a show on Tuesday, and I was on one.
Oh, no.
Sandy Martin. I mean, we live in crazy times. First of all, Sandy, thank you for the generous donations. Very, very kind of you. Like, never did I think that we would see a new live action Masters of the Universe movie. Like, heck, Goatman is going to be in it. I love all your Masters of the Universe opinions. Thank you. Look, I have my hopes up for that one only because of Travis Knight. I really do. And if they can, I think that I'm probably going to be in this place from like when I'm watching going, please just get the hell out of Earth. Please just get the hell out of Earth. Please just get the hell. And once I get to Eternia and actually see Eternia and what those moments are going to look like, you have an opportunity to really make something special and really mix science and magic together, which is what I hope that they do. When does it come out? Next year, John?
Yeah, I think so. Next year. Yeah. That's why they're going to be finishing this year and then post-production. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. So yeah, Sandy, I want to see what's going to happen, how they're going to make it work. But you know, it's got my interest.
Yeah.
Derek, is Fast and Furious dead as a franchise? I don't think it's dead as a franchise because there's still one more left.
I don't know if I wouldn't say it's dead. So, because the last film underperformed, but I would say that it is on its way out if they don't make drastic changes. That's what I would say.
Let's see. Neeks 2890. Hey y'all, happy Monday. Heading to Disneyland today. Enjoy, Neeks. What rides should I ride for you guys? Enjoy your day, fellas. Appreciate you both. Rides are like I'm not so much the ride person as much anymore. Although I haven't done they used to be Splash Mountain, but now I think it's Princess and the Frog, right? I always like the water drop.
Yeah.
What about you?
What about the Guardians of the Galaxy Tower of Terror? You gotta do that one.
I can't do that.
Oh no, I know you can't do that.
Can't do it. So we just went to this fair over the weekend, by the way.
Okay.
My little one is an absolute lunatic. She went on all these things like by herself. She's 7. She's going on to all these things. It's great. And it was great because the 13-year-old was really being a good big sister and taking her on. And the poor kid got sick because she took her. And here's the little one who was like, give me more. And going down all these rides. But I'm like, I can't do any of this crap. I'm not going on these rides.
Look, your wife would never allow this, but I want to produce your 7-year-old's YouTube channel. Your wife would never allow me to do it, but I would have her doing.
You have more pushback on me than my wife.
Yeah, okay. I'd have her skydiving like your 7-year-old would do everything.
Oh, 100%. She would do all of it.
Great personality, man, and she's up for it.
Yeah, she would do all of it.
Oh yeah, and you got to do to this guy. You got to do Galaxy's Edge. You got to do Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. Yeah, that's what everybody wants to say.
I said it.
I'll just start screaming at the people. How come you didn't let me in the beginning of it?
You should do it.
It
You
should.
that whole video.
I'm trying to think if there's someone that came in. There's Sun Tzu who said, "Hey guys, can you be a victim of the movie era you're born in? For example, I'm fully aware that Raiders is the best Jones film, but my favorite."
You didn't put it up. Is it up?
I can't. There's some that
oh, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead.
there's some that are lost. But is that one? I don't think that one is out. Let me double check. There's some that got lost, and I have them up, so I'll bring it up. Okay, let's see. Next one, Monica R.
Hey,
seeing Bring Her Back Today looks super creepy. Monica, let us know what you think.
Yeah, good luck.
It's pretty creepy. All right, so Mad Sinister McCall interview Bay, Weissman, and Zombie at the same time. Yeah. Well, Bay, you know, I actually auditioned for Michael Bay. Did I ever tell you that? Or it was a Super Bowl commercial. He was in the room. I hated him even more because I thought he did good. He didn't cast me. And Rob Zombie probably. I know for a fact that Rob Zombie watched Brett and I in that piece that we did on Monsters. I think I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't blame him if he hates our guts. That's not the guy you want to piss off. Weissman, I don't have anything against Weissman. I just don't think he's a good director.
Yeah, and we're gonna find out with I'm seeing Ballerina tonight.
Are we? Are we gonna find that out?
Oh yeah, good point. It could be Stahelski's movie that just says Len Weissman.
Yeah, are you seeing that tonight? I'm going to see it on. Well, why am I? I'm going to see it tomorrow. See it tonight, you son of a bitch. Brandon, what's up, Brandon? How much money does Superman? I want to make sure that it's Tuesday and not tonight.
Yeah,
oh my God, I should probably go check that out.
Yeah.
I'm going to double check that. Brandon, he says, how much money does Superman need to make for the DCU to continue on? I feel like it makes under 600 to have to go back to the drawing board. Also, shout out to Rocha being under 40. Well, that's not true. But I don't think under 600 they'll have to go back to the drawing board. I think again, 500 and up, they'll be able. If 500, they'll be able to like, hey, we made 500. We're against the ropes. We've got to really do something here. 600 and up, they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, I think it needs to make 700 for it to continue.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, 600 would be good. They could maybe spin that with this economy and the other films it was up against, Fantastic Four, Jurassic World. But I think 700 is where James Gunn now goes like, yes, it's my universe.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Yeah, my screening is tomorrow. Is the Arrival a good UAP film? I've never seen it. It's probably my favorite. I love that movie. Or not? Oh wait, The Arrival or
The Arrival from Rival. The Arrival is the Charlie Sheen one, which is
not bad. It's not bad. It's okay. I remember seeing the movie and thinking it's not bad. No, Arrival is my favorite. Arrival's
amazing.
An incredible movie, and from what scientists and physicists say, like it's probably the most accurate kind of idea of what time travel could be. You know, with like consciousness and other things and all that. But yeah, I like The Arrival. I haven't seen it in years. I can't even tell you the last time I saw that movie.
God, you know who he wrote? The guy who made that movie wrote G.I. Jane, Pitch Black, Riddick.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm telling you, The Arrival was better than you probably give it credit for.
All right,
Busy Bee
and The Fugitive. Wow,
I'm telling you. It's not a bad movie. Hey, Kristian Rocha, a longtime viewer, first-time commenter. Thank you, Busy Bee. Thank you for both making my workday more enjoyable. Thank you so much. Kristian, have you had the chance to see AJ from the Y-Files on Joe Rogan? If so, thoughts? I know that he was on there, and I know he said some things about how put off that have been making the rounds, but that's really all I've seen. I haven't seen the full interview, but I've heard it's a really solid interview. Like, I really like that channel a lot, Y-Files, and I think what they do is they do some good work over there. But that's all. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see it, but I did see that he was on there.
Is Y-Files a play on X-Files and then the next letter?
Maybe no, it's YWHY. But maybe so. But he does
UFO stuff or no?
It's not just UFO stuff. He does. He did the simulation theory. He does like a whole bunch of these things, and he explores it in a way not as in a definitive like this is what we believe here.
Right.
He gives you the things that have been reported on, and he does it in this very kind of almost like Saturday morning show that we grew up with type of vibe. Like he's got like this goldfish that talks or whatever too, is like a side character, but he does like all this different, like all the facts and all the ideas of everything. But then he gives a breakdown of what it could be. He's like, oh, it could be this, but it actually could be this too. And it's
this episode of the
okay. I'm looking at the Wi-Fi. I'm just putting it up right now. So
put, you know what you should do? You know what? Watch the type in Y-Files simulation theory.
Okay.
Watch that. Yeah. Jay Anderson. I am entering a new career as a firefighter. Good for you. And started the academy today. Rocha, any advice for someone entering a paramilitary field?
Here's the thing. Keep your head down. Listen. Do what they want you to do. Don't be afraid to speak up if something upsets you or bothers you, but do it in a way that's respectful so that they're interactive with it. But more than anything else, man, you just keep your head down and be respectful, because trust me, you're going to get more and learn more if you make it that approach, and you'll grab onto this stuff a lot quicker. So that's what I would say. And my sister was a firefighter for years. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Alan Smithy. Apparently, Robert Altman's Popeye was the most coked out set in film history. Does not surprise me. Popeye likes spinach and nose candy. I mean, that was the height of Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Doing at that point his cocaine thing, 1980.
Yeah. Right before Belushi.
Right before Belushi died.
Coked out. Everyone stopped.
Yeah. Well, that's why he stopped. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Grimbear 13. What's up, gents? Just throwing some love your way, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Grimbear. Matt Sinister McCall. Will AI have cult followers like Final Reckoning? I really think it does.
100%. Just like I was watching Independence Day the other day. I hadn't seen it forever. All those people going up to the roof saying, take me with you. That's essentially some of these AI people lately.
Right.
They're cult-like in their
It's true. Yeah, the Independence Day thing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to get to, there's some other, I just want to make sure that in case I missed anybody's questions later, I have them locked in. Sun Tzu. Oh, this is the one from before. Okay. Hey guys, can you be a victim of your movie era that you're born in? Example, I'm fully aware that Raiders is the best Jones film, but my favorite is Last Crusade. No, not necessarily. I mean, I guess you can be a victim for sure, but there are a lot of people who think that Last Crusade is the best. Well, there's a lot of people. I'm in the example that you gave. I think Raiders is the best. But there's tons of people who like that one the best.
Yeah, if you're asking me to put on one of the two, I'll put on Last Crusade over Raiders. Even though I love Raiders, but Last Crusade with Connery, that's just
a lot of people say that. Yeah, but as far as being a victim of the movie era you're born, I mean, I'm sure. Like I said, we did the 80s and everything too. And there's just, I think the nostalgia when you're a kid and growing up and the feeling you get when you're a kid watching these movies and taking that in later on. I mean, even watching Jurassic Park today with my wife, like thinking about how I saw it when I was like a teenager, watching it to like now, and putting it together, you still have those moments in the fuzzies, as they say.
Yeah, I don't think I could objectively review 80s films because there's so much nostalgia attached to them, connected to when I'm growing up. So yeah, but you know, you can still love films from the decades for sure.
Jay Anderson, if Superman fails, what's WB's next move? Probably sell it, to be honest.
Selling.
Probably sell it. Yeah. Derek, Fast and Furious is definitely a Michael Bay opportunity to direct. That's true. I don't disagree with that. If he's perfect for a franchise, it's that one.
If you're rebooting it, 100%. But he's not going to direct the 11th or 12th installment. Fuck that.
But he could. This is just a really nice super chat.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Brandon, one is protecting you from the other. Ethan Hunt, Daniel Craig Bond, John Wick, Jason Bourne, or Black Dynamite. All great questions. I'm going to answer the same way I did when someone asked the other day who would win in a fight. John Wick, all day long. John Wick's killing Ethan Hunt. John Wick's killing Bond. John Wick is killing Jason Bourne, and John Wick is killing Black Dynamite. John Wick.
It's John Wick. You know why? Because Ethan Hunt needs a team.
Yep.
Bond is always connected with M and gets all this equipment from Q. Jason Bourne, I think it would be Jason Bourne versus John Wick, but Black Dynamite, maybe as a dark horse, but I think it would be John Wick as well.
John Wick.
Weak.
Derek Johnson, I said this before, but I need Superman to give me Iron Man 1 feels. Yeah. I'm not looking for Endgame, but I need to feel like this is the start of something special. Agreed. I think everybody is looking for that. I totally agree. You have to go what's next when you come out. You have to feel like what's next.
Yeah. It's tough to do that though when you've got 25 characters in that damn thing, but we'll see.
Sure. Derek Johnson, movie conspiracy. Mogwais are baby Ewoks who made it to Earth. Ask yourself if you know what baby Ewoks. It's the truth. Maybe so. It's so funny how I was watching the Jurassic Park, like the one that kills Newman. It really looks like a gremlin.
Yeah. Getting that razor can or shaving cream can.
Hilarious. Robert, I think you missed my first one. I want to know what y'all think about the Doctor Who finale and the change of the Doctor being Billy Piper. So I'm going to go back. What happened? I don't know why StreamYard does this. For some reason, it misses a whole bunch of questions. But if you go into YouTube, you can pull them back up. So I'm going to, after I finish all the ones that are there now, I'm going to go through and look at the ones. But John, you're a Doctor Who guy. I have no idea
what's that? Yeah, that's right. The finale was this weekend. Thank you to Michael Vogel who gave me this shirt. It's The Dark Knight Returns, but it's actually Tenet. They're going to the TARDIS. I'm sad because I thought Ncuti Gatwa did a great job as the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this season was better than last season, and the episodes were much more cleaner, and the story was cleaner. But unfortunately, I think all the pressure and the low ratings and the storylines, the quote unquote woke storylines, affected it. And so switching to someone that people love, like Billy coming back to be the Doctor now instead of the companion, is exciting and interesting. But it does feel like a little bit of desperate fan service. But we'll see.
They might need it. They might
need it if they're going to keep going. Yeah.
Nathan Drake, you said Sam's doing all the Nolan films. Well, we're not going to do his very first one, but we are doing Memento because didn't he do one right before he did one?
Following. Yeah. Oh no, it's Nolan. Yeah, following. Yeah.
We're not doing that one. We'll probably start with Memento. Yeah, Insomnia is great as well. We'll be doing. Well, I don't know which ones we're going to be doing, but we're not doing all the Nolan films, but we're doing a lot of the Nolan films. We'll be doing Prestige. We'll be doing Memento. We'll be doing the Dark Knight movies.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be doing Inception, Interstellar for sure, but it's gonna, it'll be a little bit. We're still doing MCU, but that's after Lord of the Rings, but for sure. GoPal, apparently Ken writes or produces for the White Files. He was. I don't know if he still is, but he was.
Who, Knapsack?
Knapsack was, yeah.
What?
Yeah, he was for a little bit. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say anything or not, but I can't remember.
Wow.
Derek Johnson, thank you, Derek. Sean McCabe got my tickets for August. Sean, thank God that you're in the chat because I'm so discombobulated right now. We're doing a live show on August 9th. Sam and myself are doing our first live show together.
Nice.
And we're going to be in here. We also have a live stream that you guys can get. I'll put the links in the description on that one. Hopefully PLD can do that. I should have done that already. And I have a promo that I'll play for it tomorrow. But yeah, myself and Sam are doing a live show on August 9th in New York. I hope you guys can make it. Tim said, having watched Last Reckoning, solid but not great finale. If it's the finale to Ethan's arc. Here's my ranking of the Mission Impossible Ethan Hunt films: 1, Fallout; 2, Rogue Nation; 3, what's GP? I forget what it is.
I don't know.
GP4. I don't remember what it's called. Ghost Protocol. Yeah, the abbreviations are killing me. TLR. Mission Impossible 3. Doctor
Dead Reckoning
7. 1 and then 2. I would put
Last Reckoning, I guess, is the
that was. I would put 2, 7 and 8. Where does he put Dead Reckoning? Oh, he's Dead Reckoning 6. I would put. I'm not too far off from him. I would put Dead Reckoning at 7. I would put Final Reckoning at 6. And then MI2 is definitely the worst for me as well. But MI1, but I'm with you for the most part. I'm with you too.
Yeah, Rogue Nation is number 1 for me, and then Fallout and GP and different orders.
Jarn, next year is crazy with the Odyssey, Spielberg's UFO film, Project Hail Mary, new Jordan Peele film, Dune 3. Is it going to be better than this year? It certainly seems like. It's funny because when I was talking about 2025. I was saying, 2025 looks so stacked. And then I looked at 2026. It's insane. 2026 is crazy.
Yeah. It feels like 2025 has been a little bit of a letdown.
So far.
Right?
So far. But remember we said that last time?
Right. We'll see how the back half.
Yeah. Let's see. 6. Let me see. So anyway, Tim Sim. Also, as much as I want, and thank you, Tim, it's very generous. As much as I want the Mission Impossible franchise to sunset after Last Reckoning, especially as it's not as great but good finale, we all know Paramount needs this IP to continue. Unfortunately, in my opinion, it must pivot to a new lead and go back to my grounded spy story. I agree.
Probably.
Okay, let's see. Next one. After that. Thank you, Tim. I do think, John, that is true, though. I think that if you're going to get a non-Tom Cruise one, you've got to go grounded, and you have to go less money for sure.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, people, as you said, people have attached Tom Cruise to this franchise, so you got to find someone who is really great to overcome that. So it's going to take time.
Jay Mobile, I love sci-fi and aliens, but not sure how enthusiastic I'll be if all the upcoming UFO projects are just very espionage and dramatic with no sci-fi. Well, they're all going to have sci-fi in it. I mean, it's all the technology. I think they're just going to put more of an emphasis on the disclosure side of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm on the opposite of you, Jay Mobile. I don't want just another fantasy science fiction aliens thing. I've seen a million of them. I wanted to actually, because if the mainstream media is not covering what is going on in Congress and the fact that things that have been said by high level government officials, and these movies will, and that's how it's going to get people going, oh my God, some of this stuff is true. And then that to me is more intriguing than, oh my God, here's another War of the Worlds. I don't give a shit about that anymore. It's I've seen it a million times over. I want to see them actually dive into it and let people know what's going on behind the scenes. Joey Pedras, did you hear they're auctioning off a large amount of David Lynch's stuff? Apparently, his basic Mr. Coffee machine is going for $1,200. Wow. That's crazy.
$1,200.
That's crazy. This is hilarious. Brandon Summers says Rocha calling Black Diamond the dark horse out of all those options is crazy.
That was on purpose.
Okay.
I didn't say black horse. The black sheep.
Jay Anderson, Iron Man 1, about one character and silently started a universe, which I think contributed to its success. Every time a universe is announced before the first movie releases, it fails. Monsterverse, DCU. Yeah, it's true.
Power Rangers.
Yeah. No, a lot of those times it's true because people want to start this new thing. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. J Mobile also comes in. More support. I haven't watched in a while. And why did I just realize that Tudum was it was?
Onomatopoeia?
Yeah, I didn't know that. It was a weird.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now there's some other ones that we missed.
Okay.
I'm going to say the ones that we missed here.
Okay.
Robert, who asked about the thoughts of the finale of Doctor Who series. Johnny Venerable, what would you give to have Tony Gilroy adapt the Plagueis novel? Oh my God, I would love it. Sounds like Lucasfilm wants to keep him around after Andor season 2 crushed in the Nielsen. I mean, yeah, the problem is I just don't think that. I'm telling you, I hate sounding like a broken record because now all I see it in the comments is like, they've got to find someone to run it.
Yeah,
it can't be Filoni. They got to find someone to run it that will have confidence in that. But I would love to see him do a Plagueis novel. It'd be so great. The Lil Yankee, that Gen V season 2 trailer went totally unnoticed. Apparently, I didn't even know that they
wow, really?
Had the trailer. No, I didn't even know. When did it come out? Yesterday?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Julius Wyatt, why did WWE fire R-Truth? Makes no sense. He's a legend.
Yeah. Well, because it was financial. It was all financial, just like Carlito.
Yeah.
Logan Paul ain't cheap. All his boys ain't cheap. Pat McAfee ain't cheap. You see that deal he signed for ESPN? None of these people are cheap.
Right. You're spending a lot of money
to be part of your thing. You're going to have to pay.
Budget. Yep. Hank Pym, Yeet, Money in the Bank predictions. I got Mammy in the bank and Seth. Maybe Akira, if she wins tonight, I think she's going to get a mega push. Any thoughts on R-Truth? Well, it sucks about R-Truth. We talked about that. But as far as who's in, did Karrion Kross get a qualifier or no?
Oh, I don't know if he's in right now. That's a great question.
They're punishing him.
They've been, well, yeah, but they've also been pushing him at the same time. So
doing what though?
He's out there.
They really need him. I would love to see him. They can do the same thing they did with what's his face? Who's the Rock Stone Cold ripoff? What's his name?
Gilbert? No,
LA Knight.
How dare you? How dare you?
But I'm not going to deny. That he wasn't over with the fans. He was 100%. They're going to do to Karrion Kross the same thing they're doing to him. They did to him. He had this major push. People loved him. People wanted to see him do well, and then he's buried on the game like the U.S. title, and then do shit. Same thing.
Here are the people qualified: Penta, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa. And then tonight on Raw, I think it will be Punk versus AJ versus El Grande Americano, Chad Gable. And that's it. So the final slot.
Penta, I don't get the Penta thing. I don't get it.
What I don't get it. He's massive.
But I don't get it. I understand he's popular, but I don't get it. Okay. It's like I don't get it.
Okay.
It's like, but
I don't have time to get into this with you because there's so much, and we're over over 2 hours.
Fine. Let's see. I think last one of these.
Okay.
Or last two anyway. Renetta W. Hi, fellas. My AMC A-list sure comes in handy. Sinners got me again. Oh, wow, you started again right now. Amazing. 9 watches deep, and I'm still catching hidden gems. It keeps surprising me. That kind of depth, rare. What a phenomenal movie. I really love that. I really love someone that there's that movie, something you just got to keep seeing over and over again. I love that was Sinners for Renetta.
That's why I've always kind of laughed at people who say, I should see a movie once and get it. And it's like, no.
Yep.
Great movies are movies you can watch and revisit all the time and get new things out of them.
Sean McCabe said, looking forward to the Green Room 42 in August. Yeah, me too, Sean. Looking forward to meeting you, buddy. Jay Anderson, that Frankenstein trailer, though, looks great. I liked that Frankenstein trailer.
Yeah, so good.
Really liked it.
Yeah.
All right, John, that's 107.
Hey,
with
we got one more, don't we?
No, we have a couple more, but like that. Okay. Oh, let's see. Let me double check. Tim Sim also at Ballerina coming this weekend. Hoping the John Wick spinoffs go 1 for 1 after the flop of the Continental streaming show. I hope so too. I'm pulling for it. I don't know really what to make of it yet. The Len Weissman side of it scares me, but the idea that he was kind of moved to the side is intriguing. We'll see.
Plus the drama of the first reactions and being told,
right.
Negative reactions to hold it to. Like, it's just been a bad rollout for this film overall.
You gotta let me know. I'm curious to see you're out of the theater tonight. Deadly Once Awoken. What would you say to rebooting Star Wars Episode 4 and 9 with all new actors for the characters? Just thinking about how good Andor and Rogue One is and what could be going from that. It'd be so hard. It's such a thankless thing to try to do. To try to replace all of them and do another version of that. I think there's just some movies in history, no matter what, that you just can't remake. And I think those 3 are just part of that.
You'd have to recast the roles. And look, Hamill, I think he said it over the weekend on Friday, like, it's time to let Luke Skywalker go, he said. And so to me, I think that's opening the door to essentially tacitly saying it's okay to recast the role.
You think so, though? But I just don't think they'll ever do it.
They got to do it. There's too many stories to tell with that original trilogy.
Yeah. You think, but not remaking 4, 5,
not remake. No, recast, not remake.
Recast. Sure. Tim Sim also with Ballerina coming this. We did that one.
Yeah.
Sean McCabe, Rocha, are you going to film a new intro for the Geek Buddies now that you're without glasses? Did you get the laser surgery or something?
Yeah, no, I had cataract surgery in my left eye, and they inserted a toric lens to help with my near, so I can see now really close. But I will be getting glasses because of the computer stuff and also for distance. So I just have to wait 6 weeks for this to heal. Or get approval from my doctor to go get new glasses. But I will be getting glasses soon. Don't sweat it. Yeah.
Peter Kalenko, John, any movies or shows that do a good job at showcasing San Diego?
That's tough. I haven't really kind of dove into that.
That's a good question.
I will say that the recent Novocaine was shot all in San Diego. So that's streaming, I think, on Paramount Plus, watch that. That's absolutely a great example of San Diego. So yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Good question though, Peter. I should work on that.
That's good, John. So you got, again, 108.
108.
108. Good number. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. 109.
Oh.
Killings will return to TNA and will be champ. You think he's going to go? You think they're going to give him a deal at TNA?
TNA? All the way down. But isn't TNA.
Maybe after all the backlash?
But isn't TNA with WWE? So that doesn't make sense that we go.
Well, but no, maybe they go, hey, you know what? Because after all the backlash they're getting for it, they offer him a contract there.
Maybe. I think he goes to AEW. I think Tony Khan called him immediately.
Yeah, just to catch all the hype and gives him the title.
Exactly.
All right, guys, thank you for being here. Thanks for sticking with us, especially after the microphone debacle of 2025. John, real quick, where can they go to find you?
YouTube.com/John Rocha Says, the Outlaw Nation. Come hang out with us. Everything I got going on there. And then my social media handle at the Rocha Says, wherever you have social media. Thank you for continuing to do the show, brother. We had a fun time.
We did.
And thanks to everybody for joining us. Peace, man. See you guys.
Thank you, guys. Thanks to John Rocha. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around with us. Thanks for all the support. Make sure, please go and get one of those Turtle Beach headphones. They're really worth it, and it helps out the show tremendously. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys on the flip side. I'll be back here tomorrow with Roxy Striar. Bye, everybody.